Good morning and welcome to another micro moment from Rose Red Homestead. This one comes as a request from Suzanne Brown, who wanted to know the difference between Sure Gel and Clear Gel. And so I thought this is a perfect opportunity. We're about to make a couple of videos on peach pie filling and also on peach jam. And so we will be using both of those products, but I'm going to start broader than that by showing you, here I have the 4 typical thickeners that are used in cooking. Now only 2 of these can be used in canning, and that's really important to know. So flour is a very common thickener. I use this as a thickener all the time. When I open up our jars of beef stew, I drain out the liquid, which is very watery, and then I thicken with flour to make it into stew. And so that's how I do thickening of most things except for pie filling. So I'm going to set this aside. We never ever use flour in canning. It breaks down and just makes a mess. This also is a very common thickener. This is cornstarch, and it's also used if you're going to be making a pie and serving it the same day and not canning the filling. This is probably the go-to thickener for fruit pie filling. But once again, it is not stable in high heat, the high heat that occurs during the canning process. And so we're going to shove that one aside too, because that one is not safe for use in canning. So that leaves just Clear Gel and Sure Gel. So what's the difference between these two? And when do you use which one? So Clear Gel is also a type of cornstarch, but it is modified so that it works in very high temperatures. And this is such amazing stuff. It is used widely in the commercial food industry because it is stable at high temperatures, and as it cools, it thickens. But it can be warmed up again and it thins down, and then when it cools, it thickens, and it can go back and forth several times, which is perfect for pie filling because we cook it when we right before we put it into the jars, so it has to be thin when we put it in the jars, and then during processing it's hot so it stays thin. And that is because the heat penetration has to get into the very middle. We take it out of the canner, it cools down, and then it thickens. So when we open it up, ready to put it in a pie crust, it is thick. So we spoon it out of the jar and get it into our pie shell, and then put that top crust on, if that's the type of pie we're making. It goes back in the oven, it heats up, and it liquefies again. And then once you take the pie out of the oven, it thickens up for the perfect pie. So Clear Gel, really, really important. It is really important to buy the right kind of Clear Gel. There are 2 types. There is the regular type and there is the instant type. Don't buy the instant type. You have to buy the regular type, which is the cook type. So it's called regular or it is called cook type. Just stay away from the instant. It thickens the minute it hits heat, and that's the opposite of what we need. Now, Sure Gel, on the other hand, is a whole different type of thickener. It more is a gelled thickener. And so it does not come from grain, corn or wheat or anything else. This comes from the cell walls of apples and citrus peels, because there's a lot of pectin in that, and this is a powdered pectin. And pectin is a very specialized type of thickener that is used for making jams and jellies. So it has to be combined with 2 things before it sets back up again. It has to be combined with acid, and fruits that we make jellies out of and jams out of are high acid. And so it uses that acid in the presence of sugar. And then it is able to form a soft gel, just the way we like our jams and jellies. Now it comes in several different types. It comes in regular. This is regular. And you can get it in boxes or you can get it in little jars, and there are several different types. You can get a low sugar type. You can get a a freezer type, and you can also get a liquid type. Now be careful when you get liquid. Liquid is only the same as the regular. Liquid is not for the other uses. It's just a very standardized, normal, regular type of a pectin. So that's the skinny on thickening agents for canning. And so when we make our next two videos, you'll notice that we're going to use clear gel in peach pie filling. We're going to use Sure gel when we make peach jam. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.